All right, for today's beer, it's gonna make a lot of sense why the style is the style, because where it's from. And hopefully, I like it because it all matches up. And when it comes to beer styles, they're always the best when they're brewed at their specific style region. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Doesn't really for me, but let's just move on to the beer review, shall we? Beer. Hello everybody, welcome back to me, Mate Brewski, for another Brewski review. And today the beer that I have for you guys is from the Fernie Brewing Company out of Fernie, British Columbia. We have their Campout West Coast Pale Ale. Not an IPA, but a West Coast Pale Ale. I don't think I've had too many West Coast Pale Ales per se. Definitely West Coast IPAs, but never one of the smaller ones. We have hop forward and tropical. Wouldn't consider West Coast IPAs from, Ontario. Tropical, but from BC, let's see, 5.4% alcohols by volume. No listed IBUs, and very bluish and mountainous can design. Really like that can design, pretty cool stuff. 5.4% IBUs on the website. We are looking at, we definitely have IBUs, 39 IBUs. So without further ado, let's crack this bad boy open. Oh, that's a very full can. That's quite the full can. Would not want to make a mess, but I guess I kind of am. Little glass here, not a specific beer glass, so smaller pours for a smaller can of beer, but still we're gonna get just enough in here to get a little bit ahead and to actually review the beer properly. Looking at the beer, it's a nice light amber color, extremely crystal clear, nice just off-white head on top. Definitely perfect for a West Coast Pale Ale. Usually the West Coast IPAs I'm used to are a lot darker in color. This is definitely on the lighter end. Can't complain though. On the nose, typical grapefruit pine with a slightly more, a little bit of a tropical, like orange citrus. Yeah, there we go. A bit of an orange citrus pineapple sort of aroma. No real maltiness out of it, no malt forward characters out of it, like not really much caramel coming off the nose or toffee or biscuity or bready notes, just actually quite hoppy. If I was to close my eyes and have a whiff of this, yeah, pine, grapefruit, pineapple, orange citrus, interesting stuff. Let's see where the malts come in on the taste. As for the taste, a little bit, but really not too much. One thing I have to say, that bitterness is fairly long and slightly astringent. Some West Coast IPAs do have that little bit of aspect, but it seems like the maltiness, the more toffee, caramelly, somewhat bready notes are a little higher. This, it's not really. I'm gonna get to the flavors in a sec, but I need another sip. So cheers, everybody. Let's keep on drinking. Opening up, pine, grapefruit, wisp of orange rind, maybe just a slight more of the acidic aspect of a pineapple kind of thing, and then coming in with a more brown bread, somewhat close to a pumpernickel breadiness in the background, and then long astringent earthiness to it. Longer astringent earthy hoppiness to the beer, somewhat grassy as well, but not really. I'm not getting those mid caramel caramel toffee sort of maltiness aspect that you get from a full-fledged West Coast IPA that I get back in Ontario. There's maybe a little bit of caramel undertones on this beer, but it's kind of weird with the tropical aspect and then those malt characteristics of it, they clash a lot, and that ending is just quite long and astringent and just overly, unnecessarily earthy bitterness out of it. Not really a big fan of this one. But let's see what the can has to say. Let's see if it makes sense on their end. Yeah, let's just see what the can has to say. So Fernie Brewing Company, Campout West Coast Pale Ale. Like I said, 5.4% ABV, 39 IBUs. Hop forward and tropical, definitely hitting the mark right there. Hop forward and tropical lives up to that. On the back end, we have a description and it reads, brewed in the Rockies with a taste of the coast. The West Coast Pale Ale is best enjoyed under star-filled skies. Currently not under star-filled skies, but maybe one day in the future. On the side, brewed and packaged by Fernie Brewing Company at 26 Manitou Road, Fernie, BC. Crafted for you by bike riding, power chasing Fernie folk. Bring us along on your next adventure. Product of Canada. Anything else? What do we have here? We have ingredients: water, malted barley, water, malted barley, oats, hops, and yeast. On the bottom there is a date code, and it's kind of ruined. 19/something. So the 19th of something, probably 21. So sometime next year, it's actually a best before date. Sometime next year, it goes, it's not the best it can be. So I can appreciate that. On the website, ferniebrewing.com, you go to our beers and you go to year round and you will find the Campout West Coast Pale. I don't call it an ale, but yeah, pale ale. Scrolling down a little bit more, here we go. Nice, good information. I took a little quick, looky poo at the website. Good information. So we have hoppy tropical caramel. Not getting too much, but hey, a hop forward light copper colored pale ale with oats added to enhance the body and mouthfeel. Now I have to say the body is good. Nice moderate body, good mouthfeel. Again, a little gritty. Actually, that grittiness might just be my tongue because I did burn it on some food the other day, so probably not fully healed. That's where I'm getting the grittiness from. Crystal malt gives it a slight caramel flavor, and heaps of mosaic and equinox hops add a strong aroma and flavor of tropical fruits. One of our favorites here at Fernie Brewing Company, Campout isn't just popular at home. It's brought home gold in 2019. Again, gold medal winner in the 2019 Canadian Brewing Awards. Available in 6-pack, 355 ml cans, and on tap. You can find them in BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Sadly, not in Ontario. Scrolling down even a bit more, you have a brew sheet. You can really appreciate this. It is a West Coast Pale Ale. It's 5.4% ABV, 39 IBUs. The malts that are used are 2-row pale, Munich, Crystal 70 to 80, Karastan 30 to 37, never heard of Karastan, and Carapils. The hops that are used are Centennial, Cascade, Mosaic, which are done in the boil process, and then for dry hopping we have Mosaic and Equinox. Don't know how to pronounce that one. Still trying to figure it out. Ingredients again: water, malted barley, oats, hops, and yeast. Scrolling down even more, you have some beautiful pictures of the beer itself, and that is pretty much it. I found this one in their Craft Collection 12-pack as well. Again, pretty cool stuff out here. If you don't know where I am, because obviously you could tell by the where this beer is available in Alberta at the moment. 12-pack. Can't get that kind of stuff. It's 12 mix pack too. Can't get that stuff back home, which kind of sucks. But overall, it's not a bad beer. It's just one for me. I'm not a big fan of West Coast IPAs or pale ales too much. Again, that maltiness and the hoppiness sometimes clash, especially with this where they're using, with malts. you don't think bakery with tropical fruitiness. It's just like food. You don't think caramel, you know, toffees, breadiness, and you know the refreshingness and fruitiness of tropical fruits. It doesn't add up. But hey, to each their own. Maybe I bet a lot of you out there will really enjoy this beer. Over on Untapped, Campout has been given a 3.62 bottle caps out of 5, and that's out of just over 3,100 ratings. Again, not a bad beer, just not a beer for me. A little too long and astringent on the finish, which I'm not a big fan of. And I'm just not a fan of when tropical fruits meld with caramel or earthy toffee tones, and it's just, they're not good dance partners in my opinion, and that's totally fine. But then again, that's just me being subjective. With that said, cheers on the final sip. Let's get ready to range and wrap this thing up. Campout West Coast Pale Ale, Fernie Brewing Company. A really cool beer when you really think about it, getting those multi-tones, you know, the toffee or the caramel, slightly bready notes of it with some nice tropical fruits of pineapple and orange that I was getting off of it, and bringing them together, but they just don't work for me. Kind of a bummer that my palate isn't really set up for these kind of beers, but I bet a lot of people out there, or a good chunk of you, can really enjoy this if you're a really big fan of the West Coast IPA style. Then again, haven't seen too many West Coast pale ales. Definitely their bigger brother, but a really nice balance of flavors for sure. Just like I said, not for me. The astringency, I think, is one thing that can speak to a lot of drinkers, especially pale ale or IPA, hoppier beer drinkers, is that it's way too long and just slightly astringent and not that pleasant. So with that said, Campout West Coast Pale Ale gets a solid 6.8 out of 10 for me. As for presentation, do love the can design. The color I'm not too big of a fan of, but it still looks great either way. Nice mountains in the background, easy to read information, ABV, no IBU, not a big deal. Short, sweet description, ingredients are listed, and a more not clearly labeled best before date, but there is a date code on here as long as it's not scratched off, and you're good to go. Website, on the other hand, looks fantastic. Tons of information, different different description, more detailed description, availability of sizing, availability of what provinces, and then the brew sheet adding the, having the ABV, IBU, style, detailed list of malts and hops. You are good to go. Overall, presentation gets a solid 8